Hello and welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 4 of the top meme coins that you can trade and invest into on Coinbase and Robinhood, and that is DOGE, PEPE, BONK, and SHIBA. So first, going over to crypto fear and greed, we are still high up into extreme greed. Let's just refresh and make sure. And as you can see, we've just been hanging out a bit higher here ever since. And instead of getting a spike, we are accumulating so far up here. So if that continues, last cycle when this happened, again, if that continues for about a month or two, last cycle when this happened, Bitcoin was getting past former all-time highs. And the first true peak was just a few months later, and that's where we had alt season. Not saying the exact same thing is going to happen this time. Maybe alt season is going to come later on around if there is any sort of a double peak, as you can see here reflected on the rainbow chart. Subscribe if you want to hear more videos about that, mining stocks or the stock market itself. But my point being is that we want to see, if you want to see profits be made sooner than later in an alt season, you're going to want to see greed stay up here higher for longer. And of course, when it comes to altcoins, what we really want to see is alt season. So if you've been investing in any of these meme coins, we want to see Bitcoin dominance tank. And what Bitcoin dominance is the overall percent of money invested in Bitcoin within the crypto world. That most of it's in Bitcoin and it rotates over to altcoins. So I'll show you quickly what that looks like. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is at 61%. So 61% of all money in crypto is in Bitcoin. Now, for a while, we've been taking a look at Bitcoin dominance, and this is kind of go time right here. I've been talking about this 62% area, high 61% being hit. You can see there on the daily, and pretty much got right up to it. That was my first major target for a top for Bitcoin dominance. Now we can draw a fib here and take a look at some of the targets on a fib scale. On the log, we have 66%. If we take it off log, well, it's still 66%, so same thing either way. But that something around there, 64, 66% would be the next areas, unless 62 was the top. And I've said for a while, I said this would be my minimum, and then here I'd say, okay, anytime it gets to 62%, it could be go time at any time. And what I'm talking about more there is you see these Bitcoin dominance drops. That's when large amounts of money, billions and billions, if not trillions, rotate out of Bitcoin into your altcoins, like the meme coins we are going to talk about today. And as far as the alt season index, on a macro time frame, we're still low. And as you can see here, we were making higher highs, higher lows. Here we are making a lower low. So something to keep an eye on. Is a fake out coming? Are we going to see a minor correction down, something like back here, before truly going up? We have still been waiting for some of these spikes, alt season spikes like we had last cycle. So is something different going on? People have talked about this being the cycle that alt season dies, and that we're not going to get an alt season. I'm not quite sure I believe that, because even in some of the spikes in here in March, some of the alts did very well. So not willing to go that far, especially when we haven't seen dominance tank yet. So let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin, because it's still pushing into all-time highs. And as you can see here, if we zoom in, way in, Bitcoin got to a high of 98.4. So I've been calling for possible, again, predictions don't matter, your strategy does, remember that. I've been calling for a possible 100K, 102K area by the end of the year. That is because we have the 1618 fib, we have the double top from 2021, and we have this trend line that Bitcoin's been in love with since the bottom. They all converge around this area between 93 and 102K, and Bitcoin's in this area. Now you see that trend line from the double top. Bitcoin hasn't closed above it yet. So I've been saying, watch what happens here at the end of the year. The average from a new all-time high to the next peak which a new all-time high was made right here before the halving in March, as you can remember. The average is 300 days. That puts us at the end of the year. And we also have this phenomenon known as the presidential pump inauguration dump. We'll see if that continues, but is something like that going to happen where we are going to see Bitcoin peak out and then we have just a little bit more time for discounts, or is it going to reach here and then start truly blasting off into one of those peaks, and then that'll be it for a while? We'll see, but let's take a look at the analysis of those four meme coins. First, we have DOGE, SHIBA, BONK, and PEPE, because PEPE was just listed on Robinhood. So DOGE, I've talked about this for a while, and any of you longtime subscribers can attest to this. Draw a macro fib from the prior high and low, and I said watch out for the 786. The 786 at around 42 cents could be a profit-taking ceiling. Now, is it going to go above that? I don't know, but the reason I've been telling you guys to be cautious is other altcoins from 2017 didn't do so well in 2021. I'm talking about Bitcoin Cash. I'm talking about XRP. They only got up to their 786 fib. So you can see this reflected right here. XRP, we drew that fib high to the low, 786 fib right here. Yes, it wicked above, but it never truly closed. So I've been saying that coins like that didn't do as well the next cycle, do be careful and at least consider some profit taking. I'm not telling you what to do, nothing's financial advice, but consider some profit taking, at least get your return on initial investment or something close to that back. I hope it goes above, and if it does, then we take a look at the targets. We have to take our fib off, log scale, and go over here, scroll down. And you can see the 1618 at $1.16, the 2618 at $1.85. I know there's higher price targets, but guys, I'm seeing so many ridiculous, stupid videos out there about Doge going to these unrealistic targets where people are just throwing market cap out the window. So when it comes to the top market caps that we see here, Ethereum in a mega bull run, sure, I could see it hitting $1 trillion, give or take. Solana, that's probably going to be the meme coin. Maybe that gets up somewhere around 500 billion or 800 billion at most. Okay, XRP, you guys know my feelings on that. Doge, last cycle it got somewhere around 80, 90 billion, I believe. So is it really going to 5x from there? Is Doge going to be worth way more than that? So we have to take a look at this Doge right now. And I'm not going to do this exact analysis for every single one, but you can do this yourself. If Doge is going to be worth $1.85, all right, $1.85 compared to 36 cents. Okay, let's just take 18 and 3. Let's say it's going to do a 6x. We're doing very rounded math. I know it's not exact. You're going to take 6 times this number. So 54 billion times 6, you would get into the 300 billions if it's going to get to that 2618. Can that happen? Maybe. I have my doubts, so I'm just saying temper your expectations. And if you are buying, do know that market cap is a real thing. It can't turn into whatever magical number you want it to. People are talking about $10 Doge. Guys, it's ridiculous. So do know market cap, you can't just change it to whatever you want. Do set some price targets. And for any of you newer viewers, I know what it's like being new to the crypto world. Have price targets that you can set so when true euphoria and extreme greed is hanging on into the market, that you have a plan that you can sell and take profits into. This stuff isn't going to go up or stay up forever. You can see that reflected by prior cycles. So please do set price targets. Many of you retail investors, let's be honest, are only paying attention now at the all-time highs. That's what big money wants. They want you to be exit liquidity and dump money. So do have an exit plan. Do know this isn't a super long-term, probably, financial sort of opportunity here, that a lot of these crypto projects, they will die, they will fall off. So set price targets, be smart. Would I be buying Doge right now? Let's answer the essential question. I would not. I've been buying Doge down here. So why would I buy it at a yearly all-time high. That's just too rich. Here, I'm always encouraging buying at discounts, and there's a few ways to do that. One, we have the fibs. So if it does get a pullback, maybe it comes back down to, let's just take a look at where the start of this began. We'll go from this bottom here. If it does get a pullback, okay, the 0.5 lines up over there too. The first area I would really take a look at is 19 cents. 19 cents or below is where I might consider some entries. Otherwise, it's just too rich. Let's start moving on a little bit quicker. Let's go to SHIBA, and not quite moving up as high as DOGE. The 786 is here at around 4 zeros and a 5, but right now it's about half that. So could you double your money? Maybe, if it sets up a nice base here. This one isn't as bad as, isn't as rich as what Doge is right now. And if you believe in SHIBA, maybe this is the last okay opportunity to get in. But again, I'm just going to say this for any of you new guys out there. If you're buying in here and you're happy to do that, and things don't work out and it goes down to here, you should be ecstatic to buy in here. Of course, have a budget. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. I have a monthly budget pool that I pull from. But if you're not going to put in more money when it's at more of a discount, you should not be buying here. So please be careful. You can do the same thing with the targets and see where those are at. But right now, did encounter some resistance at the 618. It's come down to the 0.5. Might be a decent area for some entries. Let's lastly go to BONK and PEPE. Want to talk about PEPE. So BONK, oh my God, this thing has been taking off. We have to take this off log scales at the 1618. Yep. So BONK got up to the 1618 at 4 zeros and 5.9. We'll round up. If it goes above that, then we have 4 zeros and a 9 pretty much at the 2618. So would I be buying BONK at an all-time high? Hell no, I would not. And neither should you guys. So if it does come back down, some areas I'd be taking a look at for possible bounces for some better deep value. You can see how there's been many closes here at the 786. If it does come down here, start to treat the 786 as support, then maybe there. But again, temper your expectations. Okay, with if you're buying BONK down there, I want to say it's in the 30s or 40s. Here we go, in the 30s. It's at $3.6 billion. Okay, maybe you're thinking, you know what if BONK is going to pull a Doge? It's going to be worth 70 billion at the height of this. Okay, then you believe it can do a 20x. Sure, set your price targets for that number at a 20x, but also have a contingency plan. And something I like to do is have percentages that you pull out. So you're not just waiting until it hits 70 billion and whatever number that is for BONK to pull out all your profits. It's a very risky way. Sure, you can go for it if you believe in that, but you can set some percentages that you can take profits from before that, just in case that doesn't hit. And of course, do watch what Bitcoin dominance is doing and what the crypto market's doing. If Bitcoin dominance is bottoming and the crypto market looks like it's oversold and getting ready to roll over, that you might have to pull profits earlier. So do have a plan right now so you can think clearly on what to do and you can execute that plan without your emotions getting in the way. All this technical analysis, guys, it's all psychology. That's been my field for the last 10 years, and applying it to investing has worked out well for me because I use emotion as an indicator. So please set a plan so your emotions don't get in the way. Last one, and I got to talk about PEPE here for a little bit. So PEPE, which one are we going to look at? It is, all right, we have it here on, now let's take a look at Binance. I think, I've charted it. All right, sweet. So PEPE, where did I chart it from? Just the most recent spike and low here. And you can see it got up to that 1618, hit 4 zeros and 24. PEPE has a market cap. It's up here in the teens. It has a market cap of 8.6 billion. All right. If you see anyone talking about PEPE going to $1, please block them and report them as spam. That is absolutely ridiculous. PEPE is not going to do a 5,000x from here and and have a market cap worth hundreds of trillions, which is more than the entire US GDP. Okay. I have to tell the XRP people the same, and I piss them off. It's too bad. But as far as Pepe is concerned, realistic price targets. Again, you can take a look at Pepe and say, you know what? What if this is going to be Doge? Doge got up to the 80 to $100 billion area. Maybe this can 10x. That's more of a conservative. That's crazy, right? To think about when you say it out loud. But it's more of a conservative, realistic price target. So if you're like, you know what? Maybe it'll 10x from here. Sure. It might be worth $86 billion if you invest today and if it goes down. I'm not saying it is going to 10x and do a Doge. Remember, Doge was on a meteoric rise last time. Not quite sure Pepe is going to do the same. Maybe it's just a 5x here. And we've been talking about this one since it's been around 3 billion and saying, you know, maybe this is going to be one of those altcoins that just explodes because it's so stupid. But Pepe, the dumb frog, let's go here on the daily. Would I be investing now? No. Or trade vesting? No. Okay, you see here, came off the 1618. Right now it's finding support at the 10-day moving average. It has its former all-time high here. But honestly, if I'm taking a look at really good areas to be patient for, if you see this 618 at the 1288, there seems to be some price action here at that fib, some rejections that were once resistance that could be support. And by that time, it might be turning in the 100-day. The 50-day is probably going to come up to the 786, but it might be turning that 100-day into support. So I think Pepe being listed on Robinhood's a huge thing for it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to buy it at a premium. I'm going to wait. And I think discounted levels in between here, the 786 and the 618, we have 4 zeros and 13 and then 4 zeros and 15. Those are the areas to look for, in my opinion. So again, if you're buying it here, you're like, oh my God, that's 10-day moving average, and it goes lower, you should love buying it here at a discount. Set a budget, okay? And like I said, guys, set price targets because these peaks don't last forever. And on the way up is a better time to sell than on the way down. On the way down, altcoins bleed extremely fast by percentage, more than Bitcoin on the way down. So if you're not selling on the way up, you're making a mistake. And it's okay to miss the peak by 10, 20%. That's okay. Or to have a sell signal ready to, you know, take some profits a little bit under the peak, maybe a weekly sell signal, something like that. But do set price targets now, because when it's euphoric time, I know some of you viewers, you're going to keep holding and you're going to think, oh, it's just a minor pullback, and then it goes. Pfft. So the whole reason behind market psychology is to use emotions as an indicator. And when random retail friends are texting me out of the blue about crypto, I know a local top is probably coming sooner than later. Okay, that's just how it works. It's not to put anyone down. It's just most people don't pay attention to this stuff every week for a few minutes. Doing that gives you an advantage because it lets you get in at these lower prices and get those 20x's in crypto. Okay, if you're coming in now, you're not going to get those huge get rich opportunities, most likely. Okay, so do be patient even in these euphoric times and be cautious when there's greed. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.